Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, medical doctor found dead with a throat slashed in Westmoreland. A Burmese-born medical doctor who had been living in Jamaica since 1997 was found dead with his throat slashed at his home in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland on Sunday afternoon. The 57-year-old general practitioner, Dr. Ang Neng, was reportedly living alone. Concerned neighbors alerted the police after not seeing him for several days. Dr. Neng started his career as an interim at the Kingston Public Hospital following his arrival from Burma, now called Myanmar, a country in Asia. He then moved on to work at the Savannah Lamar Hospital and later at the Noel Holmes Hospital in Lucy, Hanover. Up to his death, Nang operated a private practice in Savannah Lamar. According to the police, there was no evidence of forced entry into his home. 3 charged in Trelawny gun seizure. 3 men have been charged in connection to a firearm seizure in Akitree Lane, Clarkstown, Trelawny last week. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 12:05 a.m. on December 17, lawmen were on patrol in the area when a white vehicle that was in breach of the Road Traffic Act was signaled to stop. The driver of the vehicle complied and the search was conducted. One Glock 9mm pistol fitted with a magazine containing 49 mm cartridges was reportedly found. The men were taken into custody and charged with the possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and the removal of a mark from a firearm. The accused are 29-year-old Davian Williams, otherwise called the Shot Dog, and the Shottis of Mackhill, Clarkstown, and Hyde District in the parish. 35-year-old Sheldon Stinkers Mackenzie, a chef of Toptown, Clarkstown, and the 37-year-old Richard Barrett, otherwise called the Cartel, a construction worker of Clarkstown. Their court dates are being finalized. Construction workers mourn passing of female worker mowed down by traffic cop. Workers at a construction firm were left reeling after a female colleague was mowed down by a motorcycle ridden by a traffic cop moments after leaving a party with her colleagues Saturday night. The policeman, who also sustained serious injuries, remained in hospital up to late Sunday afternoon. The Trelawny police gave the identity of the deceased as the 49-year-old Michelle Thompson, who was of a Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland address. The news understands that Thompson was accompanied by her 12-year-old daughter when the accident occurred. The child was reportedly not hurt. During a telephone interview, Joel Fletcher, a distraught supervisor from Vertical Design and Construction Limited, said the fatal accident that followed the party has plunged the workforce into deep mourning. All of us are shocked because we just had a little get-together, and just as she left, the unfortunate thing happened. It's a tragic thing, and all of us feel it, Fletcher told the news yesterday. 2 grief-stricken workers, Connie Shaw and a man who only have his name as a gollybop, also expressed the sadness. It is so tragic. It happened just after she left a little get-together we were having here. I feel sad, Shaw said. Gollybop chimed in, "Me feel sadder. Right now me don't feel good. Right now me feel depressed. She was our co-worker, so right now me feel it for her." According to Assistant Commissioner of Police, Dr. Gary Mackenzie, head of the Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch, the collision occurred about 7 p.m. on Saturday on the Flamingo Beach Main Road, which is near the St. James and the Trelawny border. Based on the information gathered and the observations made, a police officer was riding a motorcycle westerly towards St. James when the lady was attempting to cross the roadway and ran into the path of the motorcycle, ACP Mackenzie told the news. As a result of that collision, the lady sustained very serious injuries and died. The police officer also sustained serious injuries and is now hospitalized. The investigation continues, he added, noting that Thompson was clad in darker clothing and the stretch of the road is not well lit. The PSTEB boss urged the road users to exercise caution on the nation's thoroughfares in a bid to reduce the incidence of crashes. Suspect in Barbara Gale's killing charged in relation to another incident. The Greater Portmore Police have charged the suspect, who was arrested in connection with last week's murder of retired journalist Barbara Gale at her home in the Caymanas Country Club Estate housing complex in St. Catherine. This charge, however, is in relation to another crime. The suspect was on Friday charged with housebreaking in relation to another home invasion in Phase 2 of the housing complex. Investigators say he broke into a house on the same day Miss Gale was found murdered inside her home. He was implicated in the home invasion as investigators continue their probe into the murder of the journalist on Tuesday. The news was informed that a homeowner reported to the police that the suspect broke into her home in Phase 2 of the scheme on December 17. It's alleged that after breaking into the house, the suspect, in a bid to elude security personnel, ran to Phase 1 where he went to the home of Miss Gale. It's alleged that he later attacked Miss Gale inside her house after engaging her in a conversation. The retired journalist was found dead with multiple stab wounds. The killing sent shockwaves throughout the media and the legal fraternities. Miss Gale's motor vehicle, which was stolen by the suspect, was found a day later along the Dyke Road in Portmore, St. Catherine. Investigators have collected a number of statements and are reportedly making significant progress in their probe of the case. 15-year-old dies at hospital after being injured in motor vehicle crash. A 15-year-old student is dead and a 19-year-old driver under investigation following a motor vehicle crash in St. Thomas on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Ali Macquarie, a student of Holy Childhood High School and a resident of the Mount Pelier housing scheme, Yalas. It is reported that about 3 p.m., the 15-year-old student exited a taxi and was attempting to cross the Knightsville Main Road when she was hit by a Toyota Corolla motor car driven by the 19-year-old mechanic. She was taken to Princess Margaret Hospital, where she was treated and later transferred to a medical facility in Kingston for further treatment, but later succumbed to her injuries. The driver was initially arrested and charged for several traffic offenses, including not having a driver's license and driving without insurance. He was released on station bail, but following her death, the police upgraded their investigation to a case of causing death by dangerous driving. Corey's death brings to 15 the number of road fatalities in St. Thomas since the start of the year. Manchester cops intensify focus on crime after recent robbery attempt. The Manchester police have launched a series of operations and spot checks to prevent migrant criminals from entering the parish, this after a recent robbery attempt and a dramatic standoff by gunmen in Spaldings that is on the border of Clarendon and Manchester. 4 men from Clarendon were arrested and 4 firearms were seized during the dramatic incident earlier this month, which also featured the hoodlums going live on social media site TikTok, begging the police for their lives after being cornered. The men have all since been charged with a slew of offenses relative to the incident. Head of the Manchester Police, Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, in an interview with reporters last week, said that the police are targeting hotspots within the division, especially in Poros, where a double murder occurred earlier this month. So what you're seeing here is an operation primarily in the Poros space, and it is aimed at just reassuring the persons within this space, because in recent times they have been having some flare-up in this space, and the persons are indeed concerned, he indicated. Despite the concerns from some quarters about commerce being affected, Duncan said that the police will be conducting curfews within the space to ensure the safety and the security of residents. Going into the Christmas season, I know that there is a concern about commerce and other activities within the space, Duncan said. We have to take a broader look at the safety and the security. We have applied for and been granted to conduct curfews within this space, he added. On December 3, 27-year-old Sasha Gay Chambers and a man known only as Stevie were shot and killed at a bar in Poros. Another man was shot and injured outside the bar. A suspect identified by his alias Bagalas was fatally shot in the adjoining community of Ramble after engaging the police in a run-and-gun battle on a motorcycle, law enforcers stated at the time. The rider of the motorcycle on which Bagalas was a pillion fled the scene. Shortly after the fatal shooting of that gunman, the Manchester police were informed of a threat which was made against officers stationed at the Poros police station. Duncan said the threat is being taken seriously, adding that we have been looking for the person who made that video. Meanwhile, Duncan urged the residents to partner with the police to ensure their safety. We are looking for some persons within this space who we believe are influencing the violence within the space. Some of these persons we understand are still here, and some have migrated from the space. So I just want to take this opportunity to reach out to the good citizens of the Greater Poros area to just partner with us, Duncan appealed. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.